Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. Got something different for you today. I've got Inlays out, and Kimberly, my admin on Facebook, gave me these quite a while back, and they've been in my to-do pile for a long time. Today's the day. Thank you, Kimberly. These are the 4 flowers. These are the larger ones. She gave me a whole mess of little teeny tiny ones. We did a video on those a while back, and now I'm going to do the big ones. And because some of them are thicker than the others, I've cleaned these like 4 times and I'm still seeing glitter on them. I guess it's not going to matter. Because some are thicker than others, they won't go in a regular coaster mold, so you need a deep coaster mold. So I pulled out my new one. This one's from Let's Resin. If you filled this totally up, all 4 of them, it would be 30.5 fluid ounces. We're not going to fill them all the way up. In fact, this is going to be a several step process. Of course it is, because I can't just pour something. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't do that. So I'm not doing that today. We are going to try out the new powders that Barbara mailed to me. These 2, and then I picked a couple other ones that kind of are in the same family. I do have a green out because this one has a stem. I've got black pigment paste. We are going to make these beautiful things pop from the back, and I've got gold glitter out, and I think that's it. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't get powder all over it, because we need to pour clear in here in a little while. So first, all I'm going to do, got my switching sponge ready. See, I literally just cleaned this and there's something else on there. I swear, it's just jumping out. It does this to me all the time. I don't even know what that is. Maybe it came from the switching sponge, I'm guessing. I'm gonna lay these into the mold like this, so you make sure if you do this, your backs are clean and your mold is clean. Otherwise they can float and then you'll be starting over unless you can salvage it somehow. Yeah, so I'm gonna clean them as we go. I do not know where this stuff is coming from today. I don't usually have this many problems. This one I'm going to start with the green, and we will paint the flowers. I don't have very much left. This is Intense Chameleon Powder from Into Resin. And I'm going to make sure these get covered in... Oh no, we're laying them up. I was thinking I'm going to lay them down, face down, but no, we're laying these face up, so I don't have to cover them. They're going to be covered in resin naturally when we pour it on there. So you just want to cover these to get this look with a gorgeous powder of some sort. Chameleon powders are the best. You can use intense, you can use regular. If you use regular mica powders, it will probably be dull. I have a video on that to compare Chameleon against regular mica powders. Regular mica powders don't really work. Not for this kind of effect anyway. I must need a new sponge because it must be falling apart. That just takes the powder out of these brushes so you can move on with the same brush. All right, this one is called No Faux Mo, and she bought these from glitterandcraftsforyou.com. This one reminds me of the Galaxy that Let's Resin makes. We might have to do them side by side to see how close they are, because they look really close. This is a large bottle too. It's going to last me a long time. You can also, I've been putting this into your resin lately. You don't have to just brush it onto things. I started mixing it into my clear resin, and boy, it comes out beautiful. You should try it. Try it in something. Try it in your extras. That's how I try a lot of things. If I don't know what's going to work and I have extra resin, I just go for it. Who cares? It's already extra, so you might as well experiment with a couple of ounces, or even in a pendant in like 1/8 of an ounce. That is pretty, but these are all going to change. I'm going to use black on the backs of these, and they are going to pop, and they're going to be gorgeous. Just make sure that the backs don't have powder on them. So I'm going to have to clean that back off before I lay it into the mold. Probably doesn't help that there's powder on there. All right, let's do, this one is called Copper Roses. I did this on a hair clip just to test it out, and it was fabulous. The color was amazing. Look at that color. I don't have any like this one. This one is going to be a favorite of mine for sure. And I don't even think this one's going to need to be backed in black to get that effect, but I'm backing all of them in black, so hopefully we'll have a set of 4 coasters today instead of, usually I'll just do 2 because I don't know if I'll ever get rid of them. Most of them go. I still have some in my eBay store, but this one's going to have a set of 4 because I have 4 inlays. And I know they're going to be beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish painting all these on, wipe up the backs, and I'll probably start, this is probably going to be 3 pours. That's what I'm thinking. The first pour to get them embedded in the resin, that is beautiful. The second pour, while they're in the mold, I'm going to probably put the top coat on. I don't know, I'm still thinking about that because I don't want to have to do it again, so I'm not quite sure. This one is by Nick Pro, red, blue, and purple. And these may look all completely different, but because we're doing the backing the same, they should go together pretty well. And then the third coat, if I do it the way I'm thinking, the third coat would be the back coat, which would be the black, and it will fill in this cavity that this leaves, and it will make these colors just jump right out. So that's the plan going forward, but if you have watched me for any length of time, that changes all the time. It changes usually when I'm mixing resin and I'm thinking about my plan that it's not going to work. So I haven't gotten that far yet, so this could possibly change in the next 5 minutes. I just haven't gotten that far, but I don't think it will. I don't know. The only thing that might change is I might demold these, get the back coat done, make sure everything looks good, and then do the top coat. That's probably a better idea because I don't want to lay my freshly poured top coat upside down to pour the back coat. So see, I've already changed my mind. This one is yellow, orange, and red. I do not know. This is a Temu from a couple years ago, so I don't even know if I could find the link, but look at that. Oh my gosh, that is pretty. I don't remember using this one, but it's opened and it's not full, so I must have used it in some point on something. I don't know. It's a good thing I take pictures of everything because I would have no idea what I've done because I don't keep anything. It all goes on eBay. So if you guys don't know and you're brand new to my channel, I have an eBay store and I offer my demos. And they don't last very long. Some of them are still there. And I also make handmade molds. If you like handmade molds, they are a bit more expensive. Obviously, you're not going to get Temu prices for handmade molds. And then I also sell glitters and glitter mixes that I've come up with. So check out my eBay store if you haven't done so already. I have a lot of repeat customers. Thank you guys so much. You know who you are. I see your names all the time, and I appreciate every single one of you. And now that I just talked you through that entire thing, I apologize. I could have fast-forwarded you, but obviously I had a lot to say today. I'm going to clean them off, grab the mold. Let me grab my mold. I'm going to get a new paper towel. Look at my hands. And you want to make sure your mold is clean, which I cleaned it already. You want it wiped out with the alcohol because if you stick them down to the bottom, then you want everything clean so they do cling together. So I'm just going to wipe. If you let all this powder stay on the backs, it's not going to adhere. They're going to float and you will be pushing them down forever. I think I will use my 4-hour fast cure. Okay, so carefully, without getting powder, I'm going to try to center these. Please be centered the first time. I'm going to push them down. There's something in there already. Let me see if I can grab that. don't know what that is, so I'm going to go over that. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I just nicked it. You could even take your brush like this so you don't nick it again. And we're just going to repeat the process with all of them. Man, this color is so pretty. Look at how much stuff gets on the back. So do not skip this step. Otherwise, it's not going to stick and you're not going to be happy. All right. Let's try to get it centered. I will grab my brush. If you see it floating in your resin, it's not a done deal. Take something soft, a silicone brush or something, a popsicle stick, press it back down. Most likely it will stay then. I've done it multiple times. I'll press it down and then it won't pop back up again. It kind of creates another suction. You'll have to peel some resin off the back, but that's really easy to do. But at least it'll stay. So don't give up if you see it floating. Don't go emptying your mold and giving up on that. So just press it down. One here. There is like hairs in here, and I don't have a dog that sheds. But you know what, you guys? I did go to work today, and one of our customers had a dog that wanted me to pet him, and that's what happened. Okay, now for this one. This one's a little tricky. It's got this little stem on it. I have a ton of inlays. I don't have these. I don't know where Kimberly got the mold, but I have a ton of inlays in my store as well. If you like to work with inlays, I have them for all kinds of seasons and holidays and just some random everyday that you might use for sea life and things like that. All right, what do you think? I think they're good. I'm going to take another paper towel, a little tiny piece. I'm just going to wipe around some of these spots, but you probably won't see them with the black backing, but there's like, I don't know. I don't take any chances. I want them to be as good as I could possibly get them since they go on eBay. I don't want anybody being unhappy. So there, they look pretty good. I'm just trying to think how much resin to mix up. I think I'm gonna do 12 ounces, 3 in each one right now. Hopefully that covers. I might have to mix up more. Let's start with 12. I'm just gonna pour in just above the top of each one. So like this one, well, they all kind of seem about the same height. I do want to make sure that the resin gets into all those petals so we don't have any bubbles in there. Oh gosh, you know what? I might have to mix up more. I always say that, and then it's like, just wait, just be patient. So they're gonna have a top coat, but I don't want anything sticking out because the back coat will probably go on first and it will probably leak if anything's sticking out. These are gonna be some thick coasters because these are taking way more than I expected. Okay, well that one's under. I am not going to use my heat mat at all on these because what will happen is it's going to lower the viscosity and they could very well possibly float when that happens because it's going to get like watery before it thickens up. So I'm not going to do that. This is the 4-hour fast cure. So it's quick already, although You could use, I'm using 4 hour because it's thick. Not for the time, because it's kind of late at night and it doesn't matter about the time at this point. But because it's thick, I want it to stay down. So this one needs some more, and then I'll probably poke out some bubbles that I see forming. I just want them all submerged. And that one's good. How much do I have left? Oh, I have 6 ounces left, so maybe okay, maybe it is taking 3 each. Let's hope. Let's hope I don't need 1 ounce. Let's see, what do I got? Oh, I got 3 ounces left, so this might actually be okay. And again, you don't want to go very far. Just kind of watch them when you place them in like this. If you put them in upside down, doesn't matter. But if you put them up this way, it matters, because they float on me every once in a while. All right, I don't want to put in more than I need, but I don't want a problem because I didn't want to put it in. See that little spot right there is sticking out. And that would have leaked on me when I did the back coat. So let me grab, I've got some stuff floating in here today. I just want to see which ones might need some help. This is the set, this coaster set I meant to tell you. If you buy these from them, it comes with this one, a square one, and either a hexagon or an octagon. I don't remember how many sides it has, but that shape. So you get 3 molds in that package. Don't forget to use my discount codes. It'll save you some money. All that stuff is in my description box. So make sure you're going in there before you're ordering to get those codes. If they're offering them, use them. I'm just trying to dislodge the bubbles that are getting stuck next to the, oh, there's one right there. I'm going to play around with these, make sure they don't float, get all my bubbles out, and then as soon as they're cured, we're going to demold them. Next day, and they're ready to come out, and they look really good. I see like 1 bubble right there. That's it. So hopefully we won't have, and that should really be covered with the black. It's not exactly perfectly centered, but it's darn close. You just peel your inlay out. It'll leave your coloring nice and clean. And then we're gonna next back these with black. So this is the right way to do it, because I'm thinking now there's a lip here. Plus I wanna sand them down. So I'm gonna leave some of the lip there and sand them down on the 3rd coat. That way they'll top coat a little nicer. And I might, I don't know what that is, a little bit of a wrinkle for some reason. I don't know that we need to sand them, but maybe I will, just to let the resin stick a little easier. That one looks good. Oh, you know what? Those marks are from the mold. That's how the mold is, I guess. Pull this out. Beautiful colors. Nothing seeped underneath of it. Nothing floated. Well, that tiny little bit seeped, but that's nothing. That'll come right off. I'm so glad nothing floated. So as long as they're clean and the mold is clean, I don't think they will float. This has just barely a little bit, which isn't going to make a difference. It's going to come off with the sanding anyway. I'm just going to take a sanding block to these. This one won't change at all with black behind it, but these should change. And this one, this one's got a little bit overage. not much. Pretty good. And one more. And I'm going to use my tabletop resin just because it will set up quickly. It rarely runs off the edge, and if it does, it'll stop quickly. Get this one out. A little bit there. I don't want to break this inlay right here. Let me grab a little knife. A little bit seeped underneath, so you just take and get it off. There we go. My inlays are pretty clean. There's a few spots that need to be cleaned off, but that's no big deal. This one's got a little piece. Gonna just cut that off. All right, so let's see. They look really good. Okay, grab a sanding block. This one is 80 grit. You could use 120, 220. We're just trying to scratch the surface, that's all. That lip is sharp, so I don't want to hold it like that. I'm not going to do the flower, obviously. I'm just going to do the coaster, and then I will wash it down. You can wash it with soapy water and then alcohol, or just alcohol, whatever you want to wash it with. Get it nice and clean, and don't touch it with your fingers again. Make sure you have... I'll be putting gloves on because you don't want any oils or dirt or anything from your fingers getting on there at all. I've got my tabletop resin mixed up. I mixed up 5 ounces. You want to do tabletop by hand. A mixer will destroy it with bubbles, and they won't come out in the vacuum chamber. And you don't have a lot of time with it, so I would recommend tabletop done by hand. I'm just going to fill up all my flowers first. I usually lift this up off the table. However, they didn't look level off the table. So I'm putting them on the table because I know even if they drip over the edge for whatever reason, if I add too much, then I still have to sand the fronts down. So it didn't matter to me. So I'm just gonna hopefully they don't go over the edge, because I didn't feel like, well, there's a lip on the edge too, so I really couldn't tape it or anything. So we'll just have to fix it if that happens. I'm just gonna get the black in all these areas. Make sure that gets down in there. And then start. I did like 5 ounces. I'm not exactly sure how much I need. So just bring it to the edge, and the surface tension should hold it on your coaster. And then you can torch it, get the bubbles out. I wouldn't use alcohol because it might break that tension and make it go over the edge. You could use a long neck lighter if you don't have a torch. I'm gonna go ahead and get these done real quick, and then once these are cured, we'll flip them over and do a nice top coat with some gold flake in there, I think. I'm just going to torch the bubbles out. And that looks good. I will torch them a couple of times because bubbles will still rise. So I'm just going to do that to all of these. I might have to mix up some more resin because I didn't quite know how much it was going to hold. Hopefully I don't have to. They are cured and ready to top coat. Now I did do some extras and I took my gold, my dusty gold, and I added it to the rest of the black, and I got 4 hair clips. Look at the gold in there. These are going to be a million times better with the top coat of UV resin. I just have a little trimming to do, but not a whole lot. And then I had enough to do 2 flowers. So we're going to pull these out. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's gold flake. Gorgeous. Can you see the gold? It is beautiful. I love glitter in black resin. This one should be the same depending on my mold. I've used my mold a million times, but it's still coming out good. Look at that. Love it. So I will make something out of these, probably a keychain for a giveaway. Are you ready to see these? And then we will top coat. There's one. Look at that. It looks so pretty. And it's almost transparent. I mean, you can kind of see through it. So I did not put a ton of black pigment in there, I guess. But it's okay. You can still get the effect of the Chameleon Powder. And then this one, that looks pretty. Look at that green. Can you get the color shifting? I know that glare. I'm sorry about that glare. That's my under cabinet lighting. All right. And this one. Oh, those spots. Look at that. Spot is still there. I thought for sure the black resin would fill it in. So, yeah, that's not good. Really no way to cover one spot without changing the look of all of them. So we're just gonna have to live with that spot, I guess. And look at, oh, that's the one from Barbara. Look at that color. They look so pretty on black resin. Okay, I'm gonna finish these extras up first and set these aside. Now I do need to trim this edge before I top coat because it is quite high. And I think the best way to do that, I'm gonna use this. This is the new one that came with the Let's Resin drill kit. It's nice and sharp. And sometimes I do scratch my projects with these things, but today it doesn't matter to me because I'm gonna scratch it anyway when I sand it down. So because this is the safest way to do it, pretty much the easiest way to do it. These are called deburring tools. And they're pretty cool if you get the hang of it. The head moves in circles, which is kind of hard to get used to. At first, I thought mine came broken because I never used one before a couple years ago. And I'm like, nope, I think that's the way it's supposed to work. So I just kind of learned to use it. So that took the hard edge, the edge that's going to cut my fingers off. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 of these. Finish these in a fast forward because you guys know how to do all this stuff. And then I will come back with the tabletop resin mix up and we're going to add some of this to it. right, I got the extras done. I got these sanded, but before I go on, a special thank you to Barbara. Everybody knows Barbara's name. In fact, everybody wants Barbara to like adopt them or be her friend because she sent me more molds. Let me show you what she sent me. She loves unicorns, so she sent me a unicorn horn. Look at this. It's like a ring holder, she's saying. So there's like a million different ways we can fill this with whatever. I'm so excited to do this one. I'll probably fill all of these first for her because I kind of know what she likes, and it's just a thank you for sending me this stuff. Look at this one. It's a little picture frame. I already have a plan for my first one. It is so cute. I'm just not sure how to put a picture in there. That is the question. So, but look at the detail. I don't think you could see it, but we are definitely going to make all these. Maybe we'll do them all in one video. We'll see. And then this one showed up first a couple days before the other two. And I'm like, I didn't order this, and there's no name, don't know where it is, don't know what it is. I never order split molds, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I cannot even figure this out. So I put the split mold together, taped it up, poured water in it, stuck it in my freezer, and demolded it to see what it was. And I'm not telling you what it is, because we're going to do it another day, so you will have to come back and see what she sent me. So thank you, Barbara. You know I love you. You're so nice to me all the time. Here are 2 keychains I finished up. So I put a little butterfly and a little star on each one. So those came out cute. I'm glad I had the gold because it goes with the gold really, really pretty. And then for the hair clips, I'll just show you a couple. Oops, see, these are still wet. I used E6000 to glue the clip part on, and they came out really good with the UV resin on there. Really pretty. So all 4 are the same. 2 have silver, 2 have gold because I've run out of my gold, the clip part. So, but I don't think it matters because that part will be in your hair anyway. I'm going to mix up my tabletop resin again. The one thing I do want to tell you, when I was sanding these on my table, I scratched up the backs. So yeah, I'm not going to recoat them because it's the back, but I wouldn't do that again so early after demolding, or I would make sure you clean your surface prior to doing that, or maybe just hold them. So it was a little early to be sanding on a surface, so I'll probably put cork on the bottom anyway. It's really not a big deal on the back. Thank God it's not the front. So we're doing this in the proper order because remember I was going to fill the tops first. Definitely glad I didn't do that. So I got these all trimmed, got them all sanded, and now we're just going to grab top coat and a little bit of sparkle dust, and let's get to moving. As I was mixing the resin, it dawned on me that a gold paint pen would be nice on these edges, which now that my resin is mixed and it cannot stay very long being tabletop, I got to do these really, really quickly because it's best to do them under the resin. Otherwise, it can rub off if there's a lot of use on them. So if you can get it under the resin, then it'll be sealed in there forever. And I think it'll go well with the crushed gold. It's kind of like crushed crystal that it seems like everybody has now. It's just in gold. And I put it in the beginning of the stirring so I could stir the crushed gold for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it was. That way it'll break it up into a whole bunch of pieces and I don't have huge pieces of gold floating. So the more that you stir that gold or the crushed crystal, the smaller it will break up and it'll look a little shinier than having these big bits in there. I'm just trying to get these even because I'm in a hurry. Tabletop resin, you don't have a lot of work time. Like I said, that's why I use it for coating, because it gels up in like 15 minutes. And I don't want to spend that time right now messing around. So let me get that. Well, that's just gold dust, no big deal. I've mixed up 100 milliliters. I have no idea what I need. It shouldn't go over the edges because there is still a tiny little lip, but not much at all. I trimmed most of it off. You know what, I'm just gonna move these out of the way until I need them there. And this is gonna bring this thing back to life. The sanding just gives it a little chance to adhere a little bit better. I mean, you don't have to sand it, but I recommend it. Give it a little bit of something to hold on to. Now it will go over the edge if I overfill these. Then I will have definite cleanup to do if I do that. So let me get these top coated, and then I will bring you back when they are completely cured. Well, my friends, they are cured and done. All we have left is to put the cork on the back. I have a couple extras. I just painted these with some mica powders in different colors. I just got this mold from Michael's the other day. So I'll make some magnets out of them. Little paw prints and hearts with paw prints. So I just grabbed some random chameleon powders really quick because I know this resin was going to set up fast. And I wanted to try the new mold. Aren't they adorable? So I will go ahead and trim these later, put the magnet on later, but figured I'd add a mold with you. So look at that. Sparkle. They all look really, really pretty. This one is the one with that little mark, but it's still really pretty. It will still be part of the set. Can you see all the gold shimmering in there? It's beautiful. I love this one the best. I think this is my favorite. So thank you again, Kimberly, for the inlays. And yeah, I don't have these ones, like I said, but I do have lots of different inlays on my eBay store. So if you like the thought of inlays, you can check those out. These are just peel the backing off. And these are larger coasters than normal. Otherwise, these really fit really perfectly on like a 4-inch coaster. So I just put them on the back. That way you save your surface from scratching anything. And I will get you guys some photos. You don't have to watch me put these all on. So thanks for joining me today. These are hard to get off anyway. And yeah, stick around for those end photos. I will see you all tomorrow. You guys all have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.